Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Danielle Clark with Onwards with Dr. Danielle on the Win-Win Woman Network. This is episode 18, and we are here today focused on practicing gratitude. If you're here live, this is a recording, so I am not here live today with you, but it's still the same good information, still the same good energy. If you do want to join live, we are available at drdanielleclark.com or the Win-Win Women Network at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those of you who might not know me, it's a pleasure to be with you. I am a psychic medium, a business professor, and a spiritual teacher. And am so excited to offer this episode to you. I have opened my mind and heart to see what flows in as it relates to gratitude. I know one thing I experienced, especially in my 20s, I'd hear people say, you have to be grateful, you have to be grateful. There's always something to be grateful for. And it actually almost felt like a yucky push people were giving me, not anything love-filled. And I think because of that, I adopted this hard shell as it relates to gratitude. I looked at gratitude as something I had to do. And if I wasn't doing it, I felt guilty, maybe even some shame at times. And so I'm here to debunk maybe some feelings you have about gratitude, maybe lighten some of the pressure we give ourselves as it relates to needing to feel grateful. Because I'll add right here that if we say we should do something or we need to do something, it's not gratitude, is it? Right? One of the big things I hope you take away from this conversation is to truly experience gratitude. It's my belief, it's my personal experience, it's my professional experience working with clients, that it's not just something we mentally do, right? I could tell you for the next 20 minutes everything I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my son. I'm grateful for my hubby. I'm grateful for my dog, for my cat, for my health. But if I don't feel it, if I don't let the gratitude wash over me, it doesn't have the same effect. And gratitude has tremendous healing power. Gratitude is always there for us when we're feeling stuck, when we're feeling low, when we're feeling depleted, when we are feeling like life is just not there for us, we can lean on gratitude. So if you've come here looking for a deeper sense of gratitude, maybe some new ways to practice gratitude, catch yourself if you're like, I should have done the gratitude journal. I need to do this, not gratitude. And it's my belief that gratitude doesn't need to be a new thing to do. It can be and should be incorporated into our lives. It's my belief that if we're living a life well lived, the things we need to do come naturally and are baked into every day. It doesn't need to be segmented. We don't need that 15 minutes of praying to show gratitude. We don't need that 30 minutes to journal to show gratitude. Making the bed, again, we're not going to use our mind. We're going to open our heart, right? Making our bed can be a moment where we send ourselves and universe some gratitude. Making our bed could be nothing. It can just be a chore, right? A necessary evil of this thing that we call being human, right? Or maybe it's frustrating. Maybe it's like, I don't have time for this. That's okay. Bed making can be that. Or it could be a time for gratitude. I am grateful I slept in a bed last night. I am grateful that I have this home. I am grateful to see what comes my way this morning, this afternoon, and this evening, right? Like as you're making the bed, you can decide if that's a moment for gratitude. Not every moment needs to be for gratitude either. And I think that's a common misconception. And it's something I still hear oftentimes. So, of course, I'm spiritual and I have my beliefs and I have my practices. And there are some out there that feel like if you're spiritual, you need to be grateful for everything. You need to let everything roll off your shoulder. And that's not me, not me at all. I get hot and passionate fast. I like a good vent session. And I'm okay with that. And I want you to be too. You can complain about the long line at Target. You can complain about your brother-in-law. That doesn't mean that you're not grateful for all that you have. And so in and of itself, just appreciating that you are human and it's okay, more than okay, for you to sometimes feel like you have crap luck or feel like something or someone is frustrating. Don't think that that means you're not grateful. Anytime we're feeling guilty or we're feeling shame or we're feeling regret, even as I talk, can you feel that energy dip, regret, shame, fear, right? It's low vibing, and that's not what gratitude is. Gratitude is appreciation. It's appreciation. It is a higher vibing energy. So don't get caught in that. You can have things coexist. And that's something else I hope you take away from this episode is along your journey, do not be upset with yourself if you find that you're not always living in a place of gratitude. Now, am I giving you permission to walk around like Eeyore and gripe about everything all day? No, but again, you don't need my permission, so go do that if that suits you. Everything in moderation, and sometimes we need to veer away from our true selves a bit. Sometimes we do need to be a little rotten. We do need to have some of these temper tantrums to remind ourselves of how grateful we are, right? Sometimes we need to blow up on our spouse and then realize, gosh, that wasn't the best me. And wow, am I so lucky to have this person in my life? Like sometimes we need the dark to appreciate the light. So again, a little bit of softness as it relates to gratitude. Gratitude has so many amazing benefits. From the workplace, there are many different research studies that have shown gratitude equals employee loyalty, it equals less stress, it equals more creativity and innovation. And so if you're here kind of like, oh, I'm not getting that in the workplace, or I need more of that in the workplace, here's an opportunity to write yourself a note. Maybe you need to talk to your boss and ask, right? Ask for what we want, right? I was reflecting on the year and I'd love a little more recognition, a little bit more appreciation. How do you think we could do that, right? That's okay. We should be advocating for gratitude and we should be giving it. When was the last time at work, for an example, you sent your colleague a little email just because that said, hey, I'm grateful for you. Thank you for always being there to troubleshoot a problem or to support me when I'm in a pickle or to just listen to me vent when I need an ear. Gratitude, especially in the workplace, and I highlight the workplace because oftentimes that's unfortunately where we feel demotivated the most, disengaged the most. Sometimes it's at home too, though. But really pay attention to your work environment. And what's beautiful about gratitude is you get so much out of it, whether you're receiving it or giving it. You giving someone a compliment or the slightest recognition, that could power them for the day, the week, the month, the year, and give them the energetic boost to make their dreams come true. Wow. Like just because you practice a little gratitude. And the same thing with yourself, right? If you give yourself a little gratitude, it's literal fuel. We all have dreams, especially now as we're closing out the year, coming into the new year. I'm sure you've percolated some big things you want to get done. Gratitude is going to give you the energy. So an example from my work life, I'm a business professor. And every week I have about 400 papers to grade. Like even saying that out loud, I'm like, whoa, that's a lot. And it's very monotonous. It can be anyway. It's just very repetitive. And I'm on the computer a lot. And so sometimes it's a drag. And if I'm not careful with my perception or my perspective, I should say, my inner voice will sound and feel like this. I don't want to grade today. This is boring. I could be out for a walk. There's too many papers. And what do you think happens with that energy? I get myself really low. And then when my energy is really low, I end up doing all sorts of things that I shouldn't end up doing, such as scrolling on Instagram when I should be grading papers, going to the fridge like every 20 minutes and eating more and more. Procrastinating, giving myself a headache. It doesn't serve me. It does not serve me, and it doesn't serve you. Now, when I change the perspective and I do a little blessing before I grade papers, like I am so blessed to be in a role model role. I am so blessed to be a spark for these kiddos and for my students that are wanting to finish their degree, to go on to different colleges. I'm so proud and honored to be a little piece of their journey. I am so grateful that I have a job. This job provides me the financial freedom to have all sorts of fun and security and safety in my life. Whatever that prayer sounds like, and it usually does sound something like that, it gives me a literal energetic high. And it's obvious what happens, right? So then I'm grading papers. I'm not distracted. I've remembered the light that I'm bringing to this work. And that gratitude energy literally fuels me. So strongly encourage you, when you can, consider about some reframing when you feel yourself down. Now, back to the conversation earlier, we don't want anything feeling forced. And I think that's another unfair misconception about gratitude. And it's one thing that I heard over in my 20s. Well, you should feel proud. People have it worse than you. And again, then you feel forced, like, okay, I should be grateful, right? Not okay. And one of the many secret sauces, in my opinion, of living a connected life to universe is to honor where we're at. And I think honoring where we're at is a sign of gratitude. And so that goes back to, when if somebody passed away and you're in grief, sit in the grief. It's not the time to try to force yourself. Well, I should be lucky. I should feel lucky. He lived till he was 80. You don't need to try to force it. Sit in the grief. That gratitude for human existence is gratitude. This is a human experience. This loss is big and heavy. And I'm going to sit in this. And I'm grateful to be having this human experience, even though it hurts. It hurts so bad. So it's not about forcing it. And I do think one of the things we can also do to lean into authentic appreciation and gratitude more is to, well, a few things. One, I'd say to speak it. Sometimes we get in our head and it feels, I don't know, it just feels a little bit more real when we talk it out loud. But I also think it's falling in love with this thing called being human. We need to fall in love with the bad. We're constantly running away from the bad and chasing the good, running away from the bad and chasing the good. Not healthy either way, not healthy either way. And so another thing we can do is to aim to find some neutral. We need to get more comfortable with the hard things in life. When somebody passes away, when we lose our job, when we've been hurt, whether that's emotionally or sexually or physically, we need to understand that that's a piece of why we're here. There's a quote I really like, and it's, human adversity is God's opportunity. Yeah, I like that. Human adversity is God's opportunity. And it's a good reminder, because if we stop running from what hurts and we stay in it, isn't that a sense of gratitude? I'm grateful for being human, and I'm gonna sit in it, as opposed to running for fill in the blank, right? Running for the bottle, running for the 24-hour binge TV night, whatever it is, right? Gratitude can just be sitting in it. So on your gratitude journey, which is so exciting, I just lit up when I said that, because it is exciting. Gratitude gives us lightness. It gives us energy. It gives us a new lens in which we experience the world. So along your gratitude journey, other things to think about. One, be really mindful of the conversations that you're having with others. For whatever reason, when people get together, it becomes so easy to bash other people, to gossip, to pick out what's going wrong. Be prepared to flip. Be prepared to flip, or even call people out on it. Like, hey, like aiming for a high vibe. Love you guys. Love that we're together. Can we change the subject? I don't think this is as bad as we're making it to be, when it serves you, right? So just be very careful when you're with others, because that oftentimes is where a lot of heaviness comes in, and then that energy from that gossip session ends up carrying with us, and we end up feeling it, which prevents us from feeling grateful. Other ways in which you can keep this gratefulness moving and grooving in your world, stretch yourself to see the good. Again, so maybe sometimes when we're not even with someone, we tend to see the bad. Oh, that building has a broken window. Oh, there's graffiti everywhere. Oh, the house is messy. We tend to go towards what's not working. Don't judge yourself. That's like most of us, and it takes a lot of reprogramming and a lot of patience to change that. But notice it. Just notice it. Don't judge, because then you're going to get yourself into those low vibes. Oh, hey, yeah, that's me going down a road that doesn't need to be explored. And then you flip it. Yeah, okay, the house is messy, and I'm excited that I have a half hour to do a small part of the house tonight, right? Just find your and. There's always an and. Yeah, wow, that building has a busted window and all sorts of graffiti, and I can see the potential and hope an investor takes it under its wings soon. Just stretch yourself for the and it's so rewarding, because although at first it's going to feel uncomfortable, over time it's going to become more natural, and you're going to see things in a lighter and brighter way. Yeah. I'm a big fan of affirmations. Affirmations are always my go-to. Anytime we want to get out of our ego-focused mind, find some affirmations you can use daily. You can use multiple times a day. Affirmations such as, I am grateful for whatever the universe brings. I am grateful for abundance. I believe and I know the universe is supporting me. Whatever feels good, say those affirmations. And yes, your gratitude journal is an awesome thing to adopt. Every time we write, it builds our stamina. And again, it helps us retrain the brain. So that way we feel more comfortable seeing the good, because there's good in all. It's a great practice, maybe first thing in the morning, especially if you tend to be grumpy in the morning. And again, you're going to that job that's not really doing it for you. Like, I am grateful for, and pick a few things about the job that you're excited for. You're making a difference doing blah, blah, blah. You're excited to see blah, 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 right? You're upping your skills in fill in the blank. And that can add a lot of lightness and perspective to the day. Or maybe it's something you decide to do at night. At night, we're literally wearing the day on us, right? This was hard. I screwed up. My brother drove me crazy. I can't effing believe that this, and this happened. We carry like all of that. I have to do this tomorrow. I don't have time. Gratitude journal can kind of help strip that energy away a little bit, because even though you might be aggravated with your brother and you might have this and effing this to do, there's also a lot of lightness to lean into. Yeah. I guess I'd leave you to, I enjoy reading. And one of the biggest impacts on my spiritual journey has been reading memoirs, which is interesting. I used to do the self-help books, and I don't know, my soul doesn't want anything as prescriptive nowadays. And so I've shifted to memoirs. And what I really enjoy about memoirs is it builds in a layer of gratitude. It doesn't matter what someone's lived experience is. There's some sort of a challenge, there's some sort of an adversity, and chances are in memoir, they've usually risen above it. They've usually learned, they've healed, they've triumphed. And so oftentimes we feel like we're the only ones in this world, especially when it relates to the hard stuff. I'm the only one that got my credit card stolen. I'm the only one that's experiencing this level of pain. Why me, right? We really personalize things, and memoir is a beautiful way to make sacred time for yourself and to learn about somebody else's life journey. And again, it doesn't matter what the subject is. I promise you, there's transferable learning there. There are universal concepts that connect us all, right? We all want to be loved. We've all had our heart broken in one way or the other. We've all wanted something and it didn't work out. We've all wanted something and it did, right? So these universal concepts, right? Loss is another, health journeys. And so if you want to open your heart, understand the world from a deeper, more vulnerable, intimate perspective. This is also a beautiful opportunity to invite you to consider community work, your community impact, your volunteer service. There is nothing more eye-opening, heart-opening. That might be a better way to put it, heart-opening, than serving those that are down on their luck, serving those that need a bright light, serving those that you might not normally connect with. What a way to experience gratitude, because we're not alone. We're not the only ones struggling, and immersing ourselves in that, and then being the one that can provide a little strength, even though we're not feeling the strongest. That's powerful. That's gratitude. So when we think of gratitude in closing, I want you to remember, it's not all about your mind. It's not all about your mind. Get away from the, I should do this. I need to do this. I feel guilty about this. No. It's in your heart. It's a journey. It's going to take some work. Don't judge yourself if you find yourself griping or venting, and have fun with this. Have fun with this. Gratitude is fun. It's a very light, high vibing concept. It's a way to connect to our higher self, to our spiritual source. Have fun with gratitude. I'd love to hear from you, right? If you're watching this with the replay on YouTube, send a little note on the comments. Did this video have an impact on you? Are you going to try something new? Maybe you have a new gratitude idea that I didn't introduce. I'd love to hear from you and keep the conversation going. This is one of those where together we rise. The more we talk about it, the more we practice gratitude, the lighter and brighter the world will be. This is one of many ways we can make a significant contribution to the world. Well, thank you, my beautiful souls. I appreciate you spending time with me and my energy and helping to strengthen my gratitude practice too. Talking today about gratitude really reminds me of how far I've come. Again, I think I had some bitterness towards gratitude, and now that I fully understood what gratitude means for me, it's a concept that I live, and it feels so beautiful. And so I'm so honored to share the lightness of gratitude with you. All right, my friends, be well. If there's anything I can do to serve you, I am at drdanielleclark.com. I do offer one-on-one sessions for intuitive coaching if you want to go deeper on this subject or something else, and mediumship readings. Please remember, it's the cracks in your heart that let the light shine through. And so it is, my friends. Blessings.